So I just wanted to share some real-world experience with AutoNation's protection and warranty products. I bought two brand new cars fairly recently, and both of which I bought some level of AutoNation coverage with. So on a Volvo XC90 I bought the appearance protection, wheel protection, and some extended warranty thingamabob that said it was going to replace all of our sort of brake pads and rotors at some point. And just recently, I took my car in for its regular service maintenance, and they said, oh, your brake pads need to be replaced. I was like, oh great, I brought that product that was meant to cover that thing. And it turns out, my bad, that the warranty had actually expired 2 months prior, right? But the reason I hadn't taken my car into the dealership was because of COVID. Wasn't able to get vaccinated to that point, so thought I was doing the right thing. And so I didn't go into the dealership until that point. It slipped my mind that the warranties were up. But here's the thing, Volvo, they realized that was a mistake, or at least that was a reasonable thing to have done. And they actually covered some warranty items on their car that I was otherwise going to have to pay for. So kudos to Volvo for being understanding and seeing the sort of long-term bigger picture. But the AutoNation stuff, some brake pads, which are only going to be, a few $100s to replace for a contract that I think I probably paid a few $100s or $1,000 for, or something like that. They decided to decline. So, okay, fine, fair enough. I won't be buying one of those products again. But then I also brought a Mini Cooper last year. I didn't get as much of the coverage because I didn't think we'd need it, but we got the appearance protection mainly because we got young kids, and I was worried about them staining the seats in there and stuff, or just causing some chaos. And the windscreen protection as well, because when I'm just driving around in the Bay Area, I just feel like it's not crazy to get your windscreen cracked, and they're pretty expensive. So went for it. Then my car actually was stolen and got written off. So I called them up thinking, well, I'll be able to get refunded for the remainder of this. I bought a 5-year contract, and I only used 1 year of it. But the response I got was some nonsense about like, oh, well, there's this special coating we put on the windscreen. I mean, what kind of magic coating have they put on this windscreen to give it any more protection against chips? I don't know. And on the seats, which I don't know when or how they did that, because we went to the dealership, we went to the back office where they sell you all this stuff, bought those things, and drove the car home. There was no time when this magical substance was applied. And we didn't buy the protection because we thought there was some sort of magical substance that would help us. We bought it because we would claim if any stains appeared on the seats or anything like that. So, or in the paintwork for that matter. But anyway, I just called, that was a bit of a fiasco. I just called up, first of all I started with Mini, and they didn't really respond. And then eventually I walked into the store, and then they told me, oh, well, actually AutoNation doesn't really deal with this. It's some other company, Siskin or something. So I called them up, and they gave me the same spiel about some magical coatings that were applied, and that apparently cost $1,000 to do, which is nonsense. And they wouldn't refund any of that money either. So for a 5-year sort of protection plan, we used, a few months of it before the car was written off, and now we paid, I think it was $1,200 for something we're never going to be able to use, and they've decided not to refund any of it. So I think all in all, so these are kind of bizarre situations. The warranty thing, probably my fault. The car getting written off and them not refunding it, I just think that's bad business. I'm going to buy a lot more brand new cars, and I definitely will not be getting any AutoNation protection plans or extended warranties or anything based on my own personal experience. And from looking around, it seems that, obviously this is kind of insurance. They've got to have a bunch of losers, i.e. me, that pay money into the system, and the occasional winner who gets a scenario come up which is all within inside their fine print that then they can actually benefit from. So I think maybe if you have some very specific scenarios, maybe some of these plans make sense for you, but I think for most people, don't be fooled by them. Like the paint protection plans, they don't do anything special. And to be honest, I think the biggest thing is with these plans is you have to jump through a bunch of hoops. So I've had this wheel protection, and admittedly, I've got a few situations where I did get pick up some road debris, and I did get the tire replaced. But you also have to go to the shops and you have to pre-call and get a claim code, and then you have to do this, and there's just so much hassle. And I don't even think I've broken even on the initial cost of the protection of the scenarios where I've actually gotten paid money or been able to use it. I'm still financially down, and I had to jump through a bunch of hoops. So I think my strong advice, and if any of my friends were asking me, was like, don't buy them. Don't buy any of them. I don't think any of them are worth it. Save the money. Invest it, let it grow, whatever you want to do with this money you've saved. And occasionally things are going to come up, and then you can go to whoever you want, whenever you want, just pay the money, and you don't have to jump through all the hoops that they have with this. And you don't have the frustration of being told that your claim isn't quite right, or you didn't do it within the right number of days, or this crazy situation occurs and they just don't want to help you out. So I just think any of these AutoNation products are a waste of your money, and in general you're going to lose. You're not going to be able to claim against them. They'll end up going to costing you more money than you ever get back out of them. So just don't get them. And I've given these feedback to the AutoNation dealer. Obviously they don't care, so I'll just post my opinion. Like, obviously take it or leave it, but now 2 brand new cars, they definitely didn't save me any money, and they've caused me a lot of headache. So I will never be buying any AutoNation protection plans or extended warranties or any of that nonsense ever again, which seems pretty short-sighted of them, because if they were good products, I would continue to buy them, but they're not. So anyway, hope this helps someone. Maybe there's some scenario where it's useful, but I don't know what that is. And you won't know if you're going to be one of those people where it is useful when you're about to sign those contracts. So when they start telling you, oh, well, we have these situations where someone came in, this was the case I got, someone came in, their rotors were done, their brakes were shot, and they needed new tires, and we just replaced it all. And it's like, yeah, there is that person, but you're not going to be that person. That only happens one in 1,000, 1 in a million, because that's how they make the money from these products. So buy the cars, rely on, Volvo's warranty was fantastic. They worked with me. I would definitely buy another Volvo. Mini, I'm going to buy another Mini, but just don't buy any of the AutoNation protection plans or products. They just seem to be a complete waste of money. They make you jump through a bunch of hoops, and then they don't give any leeway to help you out in a scenario that isn't exactly in their fine print. So anyway, hope this is useful.